Hey guys, it's Ping with Vital MX, coming to you today with another really cool race shop build. This one is from our buddy Jay Clark. Put this bike together for the two-stroke world championships, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to ride, I think. We're out here at State Fair MX, which is actually a pretty good track for a 125. It's super tight, some jumps, but nothing too crazy that you can't get over, and really good sticky traction, lots of ruts. So it'll be a good test for this 125 for horsepower. You'll be able to really feel what it's doing. And got a lot of ruts, a little chop, stuff like that, so should be a good test. Let's get Jay in here. I'm gonna have him explain to you what he did to this thing, because there's a lot of parts, a lot of guys that helped out, and I don't want to miss anybody.
This is a fun bike. It's a 2019, same as 20 and even 21, KTM 125SX. These are really fun bikes. I got a good deal on this one used, and the bottom ends hold up really well on these things, so we thought we'd get the top end rebuilt. We had Tom Morgan, who's been around for years and just a good friend of mine, and had him modify the cylinder and the head. Added some compression and ported the cylinder, and we run the Vertex race piston. It's a forged race piston. It's a single ring race piston. It's a really high-end piston, and that piston holds up to the rigors of this ported motor and everything. He recommends you should be changing these pistons quite often, so you know, at least ring changes. That's one thing with a 125. You got to stay up on that maintenance. They like a fresh ring in there and a fresh clutch. But they're really fun to ride. We're running VP C12. Also, that T2 gas works really well from VP as well for power-wise. And then, as you can see, the thing looks really stunning. We got all white plastic from UFO, and then Decal Works made us some custom graphics to match the thing up. Looks really nice. We have the SRT wheels, of course, with our Dunlop tires, super sprockets, chain and sprockets. All those are really nice on the drive, and those SRT wheels are pretty cost-friendly for those that are looking to get a fresh set of wheels on. And then ICW, they straightened out these radiators that were a little bit bent and strengthened them up. They put some bracing in there, and that's really helpful. FMF's really good. Got the shorty silencer, the fatty pipe. Went with the chrome one, so you don't have to worry about cleaning it as much as the factory fatty, which looks cooler, but takes a little bit more work than the chrome one. We have our Works Connection stand and all of our little bits. Fast Company makes a really cool little brake spring. Ping noticed, he goes, "Oh, you're missing the brake spring," because it doesn't go in the normal spot. It takes that stock spring can break sometimes, and the one right on there is the adjustability is a little bit better. We have that. Their chain blocks and also their tie adjuster bolts are really nice. So Factory Connection did the suspension. We set it up kind of for the heavier guys, for like us. We set it up like that. I'm going to be riding this thing. My kid, also my buddy David, Doc MX is his new shop. You can check that out. David O'Connor. He'll be racing it at the Two-Stroke National coming up. So got it set up for that.
So got some time in on this thing, and as always, 125s are super fun. This does not have a big bore kit in it, obviously. You kind of expect that you've got to wind this thing up, and once you know that, just always, the frame of mind I got to get back into always is, before you want power there, you have to open your wrist up. So once I got that down, I was having a blast on this thing. As far as the power, as Jay mentioned, quite a bit of head work done to boost compression and really get that initial jump out of turns. And this bike has it. It jumps out, even when the dirt was really sticky, tacky. And I mean, there's some really hooked 180 type of turns here. And this thing goes. Like, you got to kind of stay up on the front, because once it starts going, it wants to wheelie. Lots of horsepower. And ran out really good all the way through. A little bit of kind of, I feel like the top could run a little further. We might be just a touch lean on the jetting. So we're going to bump up one main jet, and I think that'll just give me a little bit longer pull from corner to corner. Really good horsepower, really fun motor to use. The V-Force always kind of cleans up the snap of it and the throttle response. So everything's really sharp. Super fun to ride, as always. 125s are really fun that way. Suspension worked great, a little bit firm. I opened up compression a couple clicks, but the balance is great, the action's good. Here, not a bunch of really big bumps like there's gonna be at Glen Helen at this World Championship race, but those guys know what they're doing. I'm sure that it's very close just from what I felt today. going through whoop sections here, you know, the big rollers, it's really balanced. There was nothing that caught me off guard, and that's always kind of what I look for. So one of my big things is always your contact points with your bike. I think it's super important. Raptor tie foot pegs, which are really high quality. Keep your feet just stuck to those things. A good Moto seat cover with gripper, so I'm not sliding around or moving anywhere. And ODI bars with ODI lock-on grips. And I've really come to like the ODI stuff. They've got great different bar bends, like the RC bend is nice and low, which is probably what I'd prefer. This bend's a little bit more of a rise to it, but they're the only lock-on grips I can use because they keep the outer diameter pretty small. A lot of those, because you've got to add that inside piece that locks on, the diameter ends up being bigger, and I feel like I don't have a good grip on them. So the ODI grips, for me, are just the way to go, and I really like all their options for bars and things like that. So really stoked on that. Dunlop MX33 tires, I'd probably go to a 53 front, which is my choice always, as long as I don't have mud or sand, which we don't here. It's hard pack, really good traction, but at times it would get down to like a hard shiny. And this 33 can kind of give a little bit on that, where that 53 will just stick. So that's one change I would make for me personally. If you haven't tried that combo, I highly recommend it. 53 front with a 33 rear. No issues with brakes. The stock brakes, stock clutch on this machine are awesome. So, you know, no complaints there at all. This thing stops on a dime. It's so light anyway, it just comes to a stop. Just really good performance all the way around. And the most important thing on these things, lots of fun. I had a ball out there. So big thank you to all the companies involved. Thanks to Jay Clark for letting us have a try on this thing before it goes racing. And we look forward to lots more 125s and maybe even sneaking a few more laps in on this thing before we got to give it back. So thanks everybody for watching. See you guys on the next Race Shop build.